You are a very busy man. You always have a lot going on. But no matter what you have to do, you always make time and you always make sure that you come here to see us. And I just want to thank you for doing that because it really means a lot.
You are most welcome.
So, what have you been up to? What have you been doing lately? I'm sure you've been shooting some exciting cameos for us, and I can't wait to see what's coming up on that.
I just left, where was I? Georgia. Atlanta. I just left Atlanta, where I did my cameo for the next Captain America movie. And I gotta tell you, the movie itself is okay. My cameo. Can't tell you what it is, but it's very funny. I don't know why they give me funny ones. I'm a serious, dramatic actor.
I think that there's a funny thing that happens when your cameos come up in a movie, because so many people applaud that you have to go back and see the movie again just to hear what you said in the cameo.
That's why the movies make so much money. Twice.
And I'm hoping we're going to see you in the new X-Men movie as well.
Yes, I've already done that cameo. Oh, I did that one with my wife for the first time.
But none of you heard that. None of you heard that.
No. I didn't say
just between us. Just between
I can't mention. Strike that. You didn't hear it. I didn't say it.
I don't want to see it on any blogs or anything.
Not getting me in trouble.
Nothing.
Oh my God.
You've obviously got to be very excited because we've seen so many wonderful things come to fruition on the big screen. The Avengers and seeing all these characters for the first time. We're going to see an Ant-Man movie this year. There's a lot of great things coming up. What does it feel like to you to be able to see these characters come to life that way?
It's not working. It's just as well. You haven't missed a thing.
I want to take a couple of questions from the audience because I know you guys probably have some questions. So who would like to ask a question?
Keep them easy.
We'll start right here. Let's keep them easy and no spoilers on anything.
Okay, well, I grew up after the original Mary, Marvel Age Comics. So Mary, Marvel, Marketing Society, and all that. And the brand X. I'm just curious, back in those days, what kind of rivalry did you have with those guys? Or did you have buddies that worked over there or what?
Well, our rivalry was a funny one. I made it a rivalry. Actually, we were all close friends. Like Bob Kane, the guy who created and did Batman, he was one of my best friends. But I made it seem like we hated each other, and it's an intense rivalry, so that the fans would all get behind us and forget about DC. I'm really a phony. You mustn't believe anything I say. There's always a reason, a selfish reason for it.
Let's take another one. We want to go over here, so we'll go right here. Sir? You want to stand up? Yeah.
Was there any ever, like a character that you created that you were actually surprised that became famous?
A character you created, you're surprised you became famous?
I gotta give you the ground rules. Even though I look like a model of physical perfection, I don't hear very well. So if you would repeat
Absolutely.
it, but don't repeat it near the mic.
Because
then it sounds like this to me.
This is why I love these interactions. Was there a character you created that you were surprised had become so famous?
No, I expected them all to be famous. What a silly question.
No one that really stood out to you and said I didn't think that guy was going to be as popular as he is.
No, if I thought he wouldn't be popular, I wouldn't have done him.
Sign of a good creator. All the way in the back of the red shirt.
Thank you. You always do your cameos in most every Marvel movie, and we hear that the next Deadpool movie is coming up. So Deadpool is the character that can break the fourth wall. It would be awesome if he would have recognized you when you made your cameo in that movie. Is there any chance of that happening?
Is there any chance we may see you do a cameo for Deadpool?
Well, they haven't asked me. Are they filming it now?
They're filming it now.
They haven't called me yet, but probably by the time I get back home, I'll find out. Can I say that? I don't have the greatest memory in the world. My associate tells me I already did it.
dozen movies a year now. You're doing a lot of cameos.
I'll have to see the movie myself to see what it was.
Let's go to the blue shirt, young man right there.
Yes. Are you gonna plan to do a cameo for Avengers Infinity War?
Oh, okay.
You heard that?
I didn't hear that. The next Avengers movie, which is going to be split into 2 parts, are you planning to do a cameo in that as well?
Well, see, I never plan any of these things. They just call me. But they'd be crazy not to call me. I'm sure I'll do another half also.
That's the only way the movie will make money, is to stand in some cameo. So, right there in the...
No, wait, let me explain why they really make money because of the cameos. And I know you'll all appreciate the truth behind this. Person goes to see the movie and sneezes or reaches down for some popcorn, and in that second misses my cameo. So we get to the end of the movie, and the person says, I didn't see Stan's cameo, so what do? They run back to the box office. They buy another ticket, and they see the movie again, because nobody wants to miss my cameo. And that's why the movies make so much money. A lot of people buy 2 tickets. And if you believe that...
All right, guys, we want to
be serious. Let's stop kidding around.
We want to try to get more questions in here, but we also need to make sure that you guys get your items signed. So I tell you what, if you guys want to start, let's start with the first row. If you have an item that you want to get signed, start with Max here, and he's going to help you guys. We'll start bringing them up. So
and excuse me, is this panel or a meet and greet?
It's a meet and greet.
It's both?
Yes.
This is the biggest meet and greet we ever had. And it's the smallest panel, so either way
So what we're going to do, guys, we'll start with the first row, we'll go completely across, and then after we get halfway through, the next row will start and just go around. The reason being is that if we go the way that they want us to go, we just have the last of the questions. So while we're doing this, and he's signing, we'll take some more questions, okay?
All right, so
I don't like people taking the microphone.
Oi.
Yes, sir, right there, stay there.
I came with my son, who's a rider, and I imagine there are other riders in the crowd. What advice would you give to young aspiring riders?
What advice would you give to young aspiring riders?
That is the toughest question that anybody could ask me, because I don't know the answer. If you want to be a writer, the best thing you can do is read all you can and write as much as you can. And when you think you've written something great, bring it to some editor and see what they think. But beyond that, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. Okay. Right here in the Deadpool costume. Stan, what character did you have the most fun creating?
Maybe Spider-Man.
Spider-Man?
Yeah, I got a picture.
That's a good one. Let's go right here. Yes, sir. Out of every character you've made, Stan, which one is your favorite?
Oh, they all are. It's like asking a parent who's your favorite child. Each one is more brilliant than the other.
I heard the rumor that Spider-Man is going to be joining the Avengers. Is that true?
There's a rumor that Spider-Man may finally be joining the Avengers.
Well, they're talking about it and thinking about it. I don't know if it's definite yet. And why do I have a nail here that's cutting my leg? A hell of a way to treat a guest. Big nail sticking out like that with a poison tip. I wrote a whole thing for Hydra, Hail Hydra, blah, 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 and I can't remember what it was, but it was brilliant. If anybody...
No, holding up the hat right there.
Character that you wish you
Oh, that's my question. My question.
There was one that DC had, I forget his name, Lobo. I thought Lobo was good because he was so rotten.
Was the concept behind the Tales of Suspense comic books, was that always intended to be a way to introduce characters to the public?
Yes.
Yes.
We had two of them. We had Tales to Astonish and Tales of Suspense, and they were both for that purpose.
There we go. All right. Right here, sir.
Was there ever, for the different story arcs you had for your characters, was there ever one you were upset that they took your character in a direction that you took?
Have you ever read a story on one of your characters where you were upset on the direction that they took the character?
Yeah, I hated when they killed Gwen Stacy. I wasn't there at the time. This guy, Jerry Conway, was writing the story, and I was in Europe. When I came back, I found out Gwen was dead. And it was kind of strange, because I had killed her father a few issues earlier. I hated the Stacy family.
Right here in the hat.
Yes. I was wondering, since you served during World War II, do you have any military stories you can share?
Since you served in World War II, do you have any military stories you can share?
Only funny ones. For a while, they requested me in the finance department of the Army, believe it or not. The reason they wanted me, I wrote instructional manuals and training things. I was most busy training the troops. So the people in the finance department had terrible morale because they didn't do any fighting, they had no marching song. I was asked, could I give them a marching song that would lift their spirits and make them feel they were part of the war effort. So, do you know the song, the Air Corps song, Off We Go into the Wild Blue Yonder? I took that tune and I wrote a song for the finance department. And it goes like that. You're lucky, I'm going to sing it for you. Off we go into our office yonder, at our desks morning till night, far away from any battles, plunder. We pay off the fellows who fight. Clerks alert, guarding our books from blunder. Payroll forms litter the floor. We write, compute, sit tight to boot. Nothing will stop the fiscal director. Well, I wrote it as a gag. They loved it. And they marched around singing it. That's one of the great things I did.
You guys got to hear Stan Lee sing. Young man right there. Yes.
Does it give you a great feeling of power? You're the one who picks the person. You sit there like an emperor. You.
How did you come up with the idea of Spider-Man?
I saw a fly crawling on the wall, and I was looking for a new character. When you want a new hero, you have to think first, what power will he have? And I thought, boy, it would be cool to have a guy who could stick to the wall like an insect. No, I'm lying. I don't think they had the word cool then. I probably thought it would be groovy. But anyway, I thought that would be a good idea, so from that came Spider-Man.
Fantastic.
Right
here.
Little fellow with a heavy book.
You wanted to know if you've ever thought about a story with having J. Jonah Jameson and Thunderbolt Ross in the same room at the same time, because of those personalities.
I haven't thought of it, but it's a good idea. I wish I was still writing the stories. I'd write that one.
That would be a good one. I would love that. Right here, sir.
So, how do you also like doing cameos for things like Big Bang and that? Is there any more in the future, different TV shows that can do some cameos?
Do you also enjoy doing cameos for things like The Big Bang Theory, and is there more of that type of stuff?
Oh, I loved it. Well, The Big Bang Theory wasn't a cameo. I was the star of that. Now I love it.
Okay. Let's go back here. Jean Grey, stand up.
Since you created a lot of our childhood heroes, who were your heroes?
That's a good question. Since you created so many heroes, who are your personal heroes?
You say that was a good question. By implication, do you mean the other questions were no good? My personal hero. This guy here, because he does all the work and I take the credit. I don't know. I think I like Tony Stark a lot. And I like Daredevil. I like the fact that he was blind and could do all those things. But I love them all. I love the Silver Surfer. I love Spider-Man. I love the X-Men. I love them all. They're all my children.
All right, good. Let's go towards the back. I see. Yeah, close that right there. Point to you. There you go.
How did you come up with the idea for the thing?
Oh, where did you come up with the idea for the thing?
I had some friends who weren't too good looking. No, I wanted to get a character who was really different, a hero who was not like any other hero. And I tried to think, most of the heroes are good looking. So I said, what if I get a real ugly one? And you wouldn't, most of you won't know him. There was an actor years ago called Jimmy Durante, who had a very strange personality. And I gave him the personality of Jimmy Durante. And I loved the thing. He was one of my favorite characters. And I also loved the pathos, the fact that he, of all of them, he looked like a monster and couldn't do anything about it. And the girl he loved, and I like that character very much.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Black shirt right here.
So was there ever any characters that you would, thinking back, you would like to have changed and done something different?
Have you ever had a character that, in retrospect, you would have done something differently? Maybe after having so many years go by, you thought about it, and maybe would have done it differently?
No, not really. The only character I ever had that I was never totally happy with was one called Diablo. I made him, Jack Kirby and I were working on, I think it was Fantastic Four. And we had a short deadline. We had to have a story done quickly. And I couldn't think of a villain. And then the name Diablo came to me, and I thought that was a great name for a villain. So I said, draw this strange-looking guy and call him Diablo, make him look demoniac. And Jack did a great job. But I forgot what he did, or what his personality was, or what he was trying to do. All I had was the character and the name. And to this day, I don't remember what the story was. And it's the only character that I ever made up, and I don't know who he is.
Over here at the black, holding the camera. Yes.
Okay. All right. I'm pretty sure I got the issues wrong, but there were certain issues of Spider-Man that you published without the comic book, I think it's the comic book act or code or whatever. Yeah. What was going through your mind when you just decided to publish those? Were you afraid that the comic book police would come pounding on your door?
When you guys, the very famous time when you published the Amazing Spider-Man comics that did not have the comic code authority on them, was that something that made you nervous at all at any point?
No, only being on these panels makes me nervous. No, that was for the, when they had the drug issue. What happened was I had gotten a request from the United States Department of Health, something, I forget. Would I do an anti-drug story, because they felt that our comics had a lot of influence. So I said, sure. So we put an anti-drug angle into one of the Spider-Man stories and sent it out to the printer. But all the books in those days had to go through the Comic Code Authority. They were a censorship group. And they sent the story back and they said, you can't publish this. And I said, why? They said, you're not allowed to mention drugs. So I said, but this is an anti-drug story. It's telling kids that drugs are bad for them. Doesn't matter, you're not allowed to mention drugs. So I figured the hell with them. We published the book anyway. And we got a lot of praise. The government, we had letters from Washington saying how great they thought it was, and from teachers and parents. So much for the Comic Code Authority.
Let's go green shirt right